everybody's okay and coping with the current situation that's going on in the world today. It's very scary times for us all, very uncertain, but I hope everybody is dealing with it as best they can. Anyway, I didn't think I would have a lot to show you, but I do, so I thought I would do an update. Okay, so I've been a little bit, I've called it my social distancing new starts. So I've been a little bit erratic with the new starts that I've done over the last week. But anyway, this was a purchase and also a tiny start. This is Scenic Farm by Dimensions, and I have loved this ever since Michelle Rudy, Farm Girl, showed it on her Flosstube, and I just made a teeny tiny start. And oh, and this is what I've done, and this is just the start of a tree in the centre of the design. I've decided to do it on some hand dyed fabric, just because I quite like the way this looks, and I think it does look reminiscent of a wintry sky. I ordered the kit from Amazon, and it did come from the US, and it came with Ada, which I've not got a problem with, but if I stitch this, it means that I don't have to stitch as much of the sky, because it is practically full coverage apart from a little bit of snow in some places. But I'll see how this looks, and then I will just stitch in white if I need to. But I mean, it's not like I'm going to get it done anytime soon, but I'm so glad I've got it, and so glad that they did bring it back, because it was out of print for a long time. And yeah, another new start. This is Merry One by Plum Street Samplers, and this, I hope you can see this, it's starting to go, the sun's setting, but this is where I am. I'm using all the Cool 4 colours, and this is on 32 count, some brick dye fabric done by myself. Then I worked a little bit on, so I'm a month behind already. This is, well, 2 months really, because I haven't finished this one. This is Joyful World February by the Snowflower Diaries, and this is what I've managed to get done. I'd sort of lost interest in this a little bit, but never mind. And then another new start, which was, I showed in my, I think it was December, or was it January, I can't remember. I showed a bunch of charts that I would love to start maybe this year, or just these are the ones that really do talk to me and that I would really love to start. And this was one of them, and this is Spring Snow by Ink Circles. And this is where I am. This is on the Call for fabric, which is Weeks Dove, I think. So I did get quite far. I did that in one day. Except for, I did start the tree, sorry, on a night time. And then the next day I just stitched on that. So there's a few motifs, and then the other half to go, and a fill-in of the white, but I'll do that all at the end. So I hope you can see that there's lots of little bits of white there, which is obviously the snow. Anyway, then this was another new start, but this was before we were on lockdown in the UK. So this is Heap on the Wood by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais, and I absolutely love this. I think it's so pretty, and this is what I've done so far. And I was really in an hour about my fabric, because this is 40 count, I think it's Flax by Zweigart. I'm sure it's Flax, but the fabric, it's very pale, but the call for is a week's beige, I think, 32 count, but I like the idea of doing it smaller because it's big enough as it is. And I was worried about the colour showing. I did change the snow. Here is the called for, the snow there is the called for colour, which I can't remember what it is, but I didn't think it really showed up very well, so I just changed it for a DMC, you know, the snow 3865 is it? I can't remember, but yeah, that's, I don't mind how it looks. I think when you do a group of stitches, the colour shows more for the house. I have changed the colour of the dress because it was called for a green, this light green. I can't remember what it is. I could look, but I can't be bothered. And it just blended in too much with the wreath, so I just changed it to a pink, which is a Victoria Motto sampler thread. But yeah, I just think this is gorgeous, and I love it on the 40 count. And then my last WIP is Happy Birthday by Blackbird Designs, part of the Anniversaries of the Heart series. Now, I was all gung-ho to get this done, one a month, blah blah blah, but no, of course, no. So this is where I am on that one, and this block is for my mum. Not that I find it hard to work on or anything like that, I just lost a bit of, not interest, but I just had other things on my mind. So yeah, but I am still getting this thing done by the end of the year. So that's all of my WIPs. Now I'll show you my finishes that I've done. This is Christmas Rose by, who is it by? Yeah, Christmas Rose by Hand Blessings, and this was in the Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine 2015, and this was part of the ornaments that me and my friend Christina, whilst Iris Snaps, we'd made up a wheel, a Tiny Decisions wheel to do an ornament a month, and this was February's, and I think the option was our choice. Our choice. You know, you could choose whatever designer you like. Now this one, I couldn't even tell from the picture in the magazine, and it was only until I looked at the chart that I realised there was actually a cross-stitched background, but I couldn't be bothered to do that, so I've just done that, and I've got some fabric to finish that with. So, and my next one is Holiday Hoopla Halloween by Brenda Gervais with Dye Needle and Thread, and this is with all the called for colours almost, I think, and on the call for fabric, which is Picture This Plus Kermit. It's 36 count, and it's so bright, it's fluorescent, but it does look very good. It looks a bit odd because she just looks like she's flying on a stick, but there is actually a broom, the broom end that you do sew on, but it's more of a 3D effect, and I won't do that until I finish it, I think, and I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it yet. But yeah, I love that. I did that in one day, and I just love how it turned out. So next, this is Full Moon by The Drawn Thread. I've gone a little bit Halloween mad. Well, not Halloween mad, but because I've only done 2 designs, but yeah, I really like this. I've loved this since I first saw her finish, I think on Vonna's Instagram, and it was done in a little tiny cloche, and it's so pretty. So I got I got Chris from the Nimble Thimble to order it for me, and she just cut it all up, and this is done with all the call for silks. But yeah, I love how delicate that is. This is done on 32 count natural. And then finally, this is one of my stitch 10 in 20 whips. Well, now it's a finish. And this is Stars by the Drawn Thread, and I am so pleased. I hope you can see it properly. I am so pleased with how this has turned out. There are actually two ways you can stitch this. So in the chart picture, it shows the alphabet at the top, or you can choose to stitch the whole verse, which is what I did, but I went wrong and followed the chart for the ABC for the woman, did all this, but the words, you have to alter the height of the lady and a little bit of the whirly bits there, but I don't mind the way it is. I've fudged it and it's fine. And the only other change I made was to the house, the roof of the blue house, because it should be a straight edge, but I didn't really like how that looks, so I did it as to match the red house, so it had an angled roof end. But I love this, and I will get this framed once we're allowed back out. I'm very lucky that I can actually work from home, so that's good for me. There's no compromise really that I have to make, so I do realise I'm very, very lucky in that respect. Now some FFOs. So I finished, this was Christmas Ornament by Blackbird Designs, and this is in the Just Cross Stitch 2004 issue. So that's my fabric, and that's the same fabric I used to finish Babushka's Bees by Plum Street Samplers, and then some Lady Dot Creates, which I should just say Lady Dot, shouldn't I? Chenille, and that's Barn Door, I think. So it's more of a pink, but I love how this has turned out. And then this was a start, a finish, and an FFO, and it doesn't, I hope it doesn't look as lumpy as what it does in photos, because it doesn't look as lumpy or as wonky, well I suppose it does, but whatever, in real life. And this is Queen Bee Pincushion by Heartstring Samplery, and I love this. This is a really quick stitch actually, and I finished this I'd actually bought a box, and I was just going to finish it up so this is the lid, and I was just going to finish it on the top of the box, but I really did fancy having it as a poofy pin cushion, so I just took the lid off, painted it black, and tried to finish it as best I could with some pom-pom trim. But yeah, I don't mind, do I? I don't know, I do like it. It doesn't look as bad as what it does maybe in real life as what it might do on video. Oh well. And this, you'll be sick of seeing this, but I did actually fully finish my Patriotic Poppies by with O'Neill and Thread, and the last edition was I'd ordered this ribbon from a company online. I'd actually ordered the wrong thing, and this is more of a pin, but I managed to take it apart, and it was just the right size actually to be able to fix it to the medal and for me to attach it. So I'm so pleased with how that has turned out, and I'm glad that it's fully finished. So that's that. that was just framed in a Hobbycraft frame. And then I've got, this was a start and a finish in February. This was Valentine's stocking by Plum Street Samplers. It's a freebie design, and I just wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, and that's the fabric I finished it with, and just added a tag and then a little button. This is a freebie chart on Paulette's blog. I'll see if I can find the link for it and add it below. And this is actually dedicated to my great grandmother and my great grandfather, who he passed away when he was very young, and I think I romanticised the story a little bit, when in reality I know it would have been very tough times for them. And her name was Agnes Willits and George Gervais. So, and that I've changed the year because I think it was 1815, I'm not sure, or 18 something. But yeah, I love how this has turned out. And then I just added a little in the finishing picture that Paulette uses. There's some little ribbon lace used on it as well, so I just copied. But yeah, I love how that's turned out. And then finally, this is another Stitch 10 in 20 whip, and this is Sally Spencer by Birds of a Feather, and I framed this myself. This is a frame from an Etsy shop in the UK. It's best plastic, but I don't think it looks like it. And I love how it turned out. This was a it wasn't a specially made frame for me, but it was just pre-made frame. They do loads, and I just figured out the size that I thought would be right for me. I pinned it to some foam core and stretched it as best I could. I don't think I've done too much of a bad job. And then I just taped it in. I would have normally have done my little tacks, but there was no room for me to get any more in, so I've just stuck it down with some framing tape, and that has worked fine, and it hangs just here. But I love how this has turned out, and I did this on 28 count mocha by Zweigart, and it's in none of the called for threads except for the orange. I think it's all with Victorian Motto or one. The dark blue is one that I dyed myself. Oh, and DMC black 310. So yeah, I'm so pleased that's done. So I've managed to get done 3 of my Stitch 10 in 20. Oh, and Heap on the Wood, because originally I'd picked 9 designs, and then that was at the beginning of the year, but then Michelle came up with a new idea for us to do in 2020, so I've just added on another whip, which is Heap on the Wood, so I'm hoping to get that done this year as well. And that is everything for my whips, finishes and FFOs, and then a little bit of haul. And I feel like I've done myself proud compared to last video, the 1st of Feb, which was 2 purchases. So anyway, this is Angel Cat by Subrazer, and Alba Stitcher on Instagram had stitched this up, and she'd actually used some gold thread for the wings, and I just thought that was really sweet. And because of my own cat having to be put to sleep, so I think I might try and do something, change the colour so it's more like how she was. It's quite hard to do that with a tortie cat, but anyway, yeah, Angel Cat by Subrazer. And then I finally managed to get my hands on this which is Baby It's Cold Outside by Heartstring Samplery. Everywhere was always out of stock whenever I wanted to buy this, so I'm really pleased that I've managed to get it now. And I know most people have probably seen this, especially with the most recent sale that was going on. And this one is a Stitcher's House, or just Stitcher's House by Stone Street Stitchworks, and I love this. I saw this finished on their Instagram account and I just loved the colours. It's only small, all in DMC, and I just thought that was really, really sweet. This was my only purchase for over a month, and I thought, I'm not going to be buying anything again. Anyway, but I have managed to rustle up a little bit. This I bought from eBay. This is Crowning the Tree by Blackbird Designs. I think this is a lovely stocking. That's the only design that's in there. Yeah, I love that. And then this one, I finally managed to get my hands on this. This is Maria Selby Humphrey, 1881 by Blackbird Designs, and I bought it for this design here. I just thought it was really pretty. So that's the drum, but then that shows the whole design there. I think that's really pretty. I do like the sampler, but it was the drum that I just fell in love with, especially the colours. And then from Market, I hadn't pre-ordered anything at all. I was quite good. It wasn't for the not wanting to, but I don't know, I just felt I didn't desperately want anything except for maybe the Teresa Kogut designs, which was the Newcastle bouquet. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. All the colours, the reds. I'll insert a picture, but I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it. And the Love, Hope, Peace. I can't remember the other word. Faith, Hope, Love, Peace, something like that. That sampler, I'd like to get both of those, but I didn't pre-order them. I can just get them at some other time, but I would really like those. But then we all wait for the Blackbird Designs to show what they have, and I messaged Sue from Peakside Needleworks because she went to Nashville, and I asked her if she could possibly pick me up these. And this is Oh Joyous Day, and I love this. I love the colours, and I've really admired everyone's finishes of this, because was it released a shop exclusively for a while, or it was a club, I can't remember, but yeah, I'm glad to have got that. And then I've bought Sewing Book by Blackbird Designs. Sewing Club, did I say that? Sewing Book? Sewing Club. And this has got loads of little designs in it, and my favourite I think is this one. I think that's really pretty. And I know there have been a few comments about the smell of this book being quite whiffy, but there was an update on the Blackbird Designs Facebook group, Fans of Blackbird Designs I think it's called, and it's about there wasn't enough time for the ink to properly dry, or the type of ink, by the time it does leave the factory where it's done, the smell has dissipated, but I think there wasn't enough time for it to have all gone, but apparently it will go over time. So, but yeah, I would recommend anyone to get this book because it's jam-packed full of some lovely, lovely designs. And then finally, I've managed to get hold of A Stitcher's Journey by, again, Blackbird Designs. This is one I've wanted for ages, and I'm really pleased that I managed to find it on eBay. somebody was selling it for £45 a buy it now price, and it was on there for ages and it didn't go, and I wasn't going to pay that amount. But then the same seller, I don't know how they do it, but they put it out there as to, do you want to buy this? And it was £35, and it was still a lot of money, but I didn't mind because I know that they go for a lot more on eBay in the US, so I didn't mind that. And are they about £30 anyway to have bought when they originally came out? But yeah, I didn't mind paying the 35. So yeah, and that is everything. I feel like I've really rushed through this, but there we go. I do hope that everybody keeps safe. Please don't go outside. Please stay away from each other. And I hope that nobody has been affected by the coronavirus as yet. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.